ఓం శ్రీ సాయినాథాయ నమః. 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 సైతే చెప్తున్నాను. సభాయే నమః. ఈ రోజున మన సాయి దత్తపీఠంలో లాస్ట్ కొన్ని వారాల నుంచి ఏం జరుగుతుందో అందరూ తెలుసు, చెప్పక్కర్లేదు. ఇంతకుముందు కూడా మనం మీటింగ్ పెట్టుకున్నాము. అలాగే ఏదైతే ఏ కరోనా మహమ్మారి స్టార్ట్ అయిందో వచ్చిందో అప్పటి నుంచి ప్రపంచం అంతా కూడా రకరకాలుగా ఆ మహమ్మారిని తొలగించడానికి ప్రయత్నాలు చేస్తున్నారు. డాక్టర్స్ కానీ, వాళ్ళతో పాటు నర్సులు కానీ, పోలీసు వాళ్ళు కానీ, ఇంకెంతోమంది క్లీనింగ్ చేసేవాళ్ళు కానీ, అలాగే టెంపుల్స్ వాళ్ళు ప్రేయర్స్, ఎందుకంటే ఈ సమయంలో ఎంత ప్రేయర్స్ చేస్తే అంత మంచిదని చెప్పి అన్ని టెంపుల్స్ వాళ్ళు వాళ్ళకు తగ్గట్టుగా హోమాలు పూజలు చేస్తున్నారు. దానిలో భాగంగా ఎందుకంటే మన సాయి దత్తపీఠం వాటిల్లో ముందుంటుంది కాబట్టి మన 4 పిల్లర్స్లో సత్సంగం అనేది కూడా ఒక మెయిన్ పిల్లర్ కాబట్టి ఆ సత్సంగం పిల్లర్తో రెండు పిల్లర్స్ కంటిన్యూ అవుతూనే ఉన్నాయి. ఏది మన ఈ కరోనా మహమ్మారిలో కూడా ఒకటి సత్సంగం, ప్రతిరోజు కూడా విష్ణు సహస్రం పారాయణలు ఏంటి, అభిషేకాలు ఏంటి, దానితో పాటు ఎప్పుడైతే కరోనా మహమ్మారి స్టార్ట్ అయిందో అప్పటి నుంచి సచ్చరిత్ర బాబాగారి పారాయణలు చేస్తూనే ఉన్నారు మన గ్రూప్ అందరూ. దాంతోపాటు విష్ణు సహస్రం పారాయణ 1000 టైమ్స్ చేయించాము. సౌభాగ్యలక్ష్మి మంత్రం 1,00,000 సార్లు జపం చేయించాం. అలాగే స్పెషల్ హోమం చేసుకున్నాం ఇప్పుడు విష్ణు సహస్రనామంతో. అది కాకుండా మరలా హనుమాన్ చాలీసా, రామరక్ష మంత్రం పిల్లలతో కూడా చేయిస్తూ ఆ మహాయజ్ఞం జరుగుతుంది. దానిలో భాగంగానే మళ్ళీ చారిటీకి సంబంధించి ఎవ్రీ సండే ఆపకుండా మన చారిటీ టీం అందరూ కూడా ఆ హోమ్లెస్ షెల్టర్స్కి ఫుడ్ పంపిస్తూనే ఉన్నారు. దానిలో భాగంగా లాస్ట్ టైం కొంతమంది డాక్టర్స్తో మన ఉపేంద్ర గారు మీటింగ్ ఏర్పాటు చేయించి అది కూడా అందరికీ తెలిసేటట్టు చేశారు. అలాంటి సందర్భంలోనే నాకు అనిపించింది ఎంతోమంది మన వాలంటీర్సు, మన డివోటీసు, చాలామంది ఆర్గనైజేషన్లు ఏర్పాటు చేస్తున్నారు. ఎలా తీసుకోవాలి, ఎలా ఉండాలి అని. ఎందుకంటే చాలామందికి కొన్ని డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు ఇమిగ్రేషన్ గురించి కొంతమంది డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, అసలు ఏం జరుగుతుందో తెలుసుకోవాలి కొంతమంది డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఈ ఫైనాన్స్ ప్రాబ్లం ఎలా ఉంటుందని కొంతమంది డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఈ ట్యాక్స్లు అవన్నీ ఏం కట్టాలి, లోన్లు ఎలా ఇవ్వండి అని కొంతమంది డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఎట్లాగా వీళ్ళందరికీ ఎలా హెల్ప్ చేయగలం అనిపించినప్పుడు ఆలోచిస్తే మన ఫ్యామిలీలోనే అలాంటి మహానుభావులు, వాటి సొల్యూషన్ చెప్పే మహానుభావులు ఉన్నారు కదా, ఎందుకు ఒక మీటింగ్ ఏర్పాటు చేయకూడదు అనిపించి వాళ్ళలో ముఖ్యంగా 4 పక్కన తీసుకొని శ్రీ చూకల ఉపేంద్ర గారు, వారందరూ వారు మన దత్తపీఠం మెయిన్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ డైరెక్టర్ గారు ప్లస్ అందరికి అడ్వైజరు వారు, యూటిలిటీ అండ్ పబ్లిక్ కమిషనర్ గారు, అలాగే కవితా రామస్వామి గారు, ఆవిడ మనకి దత్తపీఠానికి వన్ ఆఫ్ ది బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ డైరెక్టర్ ప్లస్ దత్తపీఠం పెట్టినప్పటి నుంచి కూడా ఏ సమస్య వచ్చినా ఏది వచ్చినా చూసిన కవితా రామస్వామి గారు. ప్రీస్టులందరినీ ఇండియా నుంచి తీసుకొచ్చిందంటే ఆవిడ వల్లే అయింది, ఆవిడగా కవితా రామస్వామి గారు. అలాగే మన శేఖర్ వెంపరాల గారు, వారు ఎంతో బ్యాక్ సపోర్టు, ఒక పక్క డోనరు, ఒక పక్క డివోటీ, ఒక పక్క వాలంటీర్. ప్రతి వారం స్వామికి ప్రసాదం చేసి పెడుతూ ఉంటారు, బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్ చేస్తుంటారు. వారు ఈ ఫైనాన్స్ సంబంధించి వాటి గురించి, వెల్త్ గురించి చెప్పగలరు, సొల్యూషన్స్ ఇవ్వగలరు. అలాగే ఇంకెవరో కాదు, మన సిపిఐ గారు వెంకట్ గారు, మన టెంపుల్ సంబంధించిన ప్రతి డాలర్ దగ్గర నుంచి ప్రతి అకౌంట్ చూస్తూ ఎంతో జాగ్రత్తగా కాపాడుతూ, ఎవరికైనా ట్యాక్స్ సంబంధించిన సమస్యలు ఉంటే వారు వీళ్ళు 4 ఈరోజు ఏర్పాటు చేయాలి అని వాళ్ళని అడిగితే వాళ్ళు తప్పకుండా టైం ఇస్తా ఉన్నారు. ఈరోజు టైం ఇచ్చారు. ఆ సందర్భంగా మీ అందరికీ వాళ్ళతో ఇంటరాక్ట్ ఏర్పాటు చేద్దామని చెప్పి ఈరోజు ఏర్పాటు చేశాం. నేను ఎక్కువసేపు మాట్లాడే టైం వేస్ట్ చేయకుండా చిన్న గణపతి ప్రార్థన చేస్తాను. ఆ తర్వాత ఉపేంద్ర గారు మాట్లాడి వారు లీడ్ చేస్తారు. ఎలా చేయాలి, మీరందరూ ఎలా మీ క్వశ్చన్స్ని ఇవ్వాలి, అవన్నీ వారు ఇంగ్లీష్లో మీకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తారు. మళ్ళీ లాస్ట్లో నేను చివరిలో మాట్లాడతాను. ముందు వాళ్ళందరికీ కూడా వచ్చి ఈ సందర్భంగా మన పిలవంగానే వచ్చి మనందరికి హెల్ప్ చేస్తున్నందుకు ముందు వారికి నమస్కారం. అలాగే నా ఫ్యామిలీ మిమ్మల్ని అందరినీ ఈ రూపాయన మరలా చూడగలుగుతున్నాను. మనందరం త్వరలో ఇలా కాకుండా డైరెక్ట్గా పీఠంలో కలుసుకునే అవకాశం రావాలని కోరుకుంటూ ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి మనందరి తరపు నుంచి చిన్న గణేష్ ప్రార్థన చేసుకొని ఈ ప్రార్థన మన మీటింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. నేను ప్రార్థన అయిపోగానే మన ఉపేంద్ర గారు మాట్లాడతారు. వారు అప్పటి నుంచి ఎలా ఉంటాయి, ఏంటి, ఎలా చేయాలి అన్ని మీ అందరికీ చూస్తారు. ముందుగా అందరం కూడా ఈ ప్రార్థనతో పాటు ఎంతో ఒక కరోనా మహమ్మారి దాంట్లో ప్రపంచంలో ఎంతోమంది రోజుకి చనిపోతున్నారు, వింటున్నాం. కాబట్టి ప్రార్థన చేస్తూనే మన సైలెన్స్, మీరందరూ క్లోజ్ యువర్ ఐస్, ఒకసారి కళ్ళు మూసుకొని వాళ్ళందరి ఆత్మలకి శాంతి చేకూరాలని మీరందరూ మనస్ఫూర్తిగా కోరుకుంటూ నేను మంత్రంతో మొదలెడతాను. ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం. ఓం గణానాం త్వా గణపతిగం హవామహే కవిం కవీనా ఉపమస్రవస్తమం జ్యేష్ఠరాజం బ్రహ్మణాం బ్రహ్మణస్పద ఆనశృణ్వన్నోతిభిः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः. श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः. श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम्. शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये. अगजाननपद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे. सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्धसाधके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके देवी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्. जय बोलो गणेश महाराज की जय, साईनाथ महाराज की जय, ललिता माता की जय, चंद्रमूर्ति की जय, बजरंगबली हनुमान की जय. ఉపేంద్ర గారు నమస్కారం సార్.
Sairam, good morning everybody. Welcome to Sai Datta Peetham's first Zoom meeting to talk about current issues. And as Raghuji already mentioned, all the activities that we have been doing prior to temple, not being available physically to the devotees. We conducted some of the, we brought in some pulmonologists and also infectious disease specialists, talked about all the precautions we need to take. And then, of course, as part of the two pillars, which are two pillars that are satsang, as part of the satsang, this meeting is also trying to do an outreach. So that way we are staying in touch with the people, not only doing Hanuman Chalisa, doing Ramanama Japam and other things, but also trying to reach out to people and touch them and see how things are going and care about their welfare. The second thing is the charity. Charity under the leadership of Subhadra Garu, we've been every week food is being donated under different sponsors to various soup kitchens and food pantries. I think that's phenomenal. Today we have assembled three distinguished speakers, and the fourth one being myself, to talk about issues of relevance and importance during this COVID-19 pandemic. First being immigration, and we have eminent Kavita ji joined us, and she will be briefly introducing herself and telling us and answer some of the questions we may have or you may have with respect to immigration issues. And also we have Sekar Vempralagaru, who is Wealth DNA and a big financial planner and wealth planning. And so he will give us some of the how to deal with some of the challenges, because we are going through, all of us are going through challenging times, and give us some advice in terms of financial planning, in terms of life planning. And he will talk about that. Then we have our own eminent Venkat CPA Garu, who is been Sai Datta Peetam's pillar, physical pillar. He is taking care of all our accounts and day to day available to everybody to answer any questions they may have. And he will talk about some of the CARES Act, which is the one that recently the Congress has passed. And under that, you have the PPP and payroll protection plan and other aspects of it. Also, some of the tax implications, because he's a CPA, you can ask him some questions about that. So, and I will sort of close it out with some of the opportunities that we have as Sai Datta Peetam volunteers and sevaks to help out the community in this time of need. So with that, I am going to start with Kavita Ramaswamy Garu, immigration attorney.
Thank you, Upendra Garu. Everybody, namaskaram. Yeah, so we are going to talk about immigration issues. Before that, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Kavita Ramaswamy, and I've been practicing immigration for 20 years now. And as Raghuji said, I'm in the board of Sai Datta Peetam as well. And I'll be very happy to answer your questions. I have my license from New York and been practicing in having offices in New York and New Jersey. Having said that, we'll go to the questions, Upendra Garu.
Okay, thank you, Kavita ji. Sekar Garu, please.
Yeah, Upendra Garu, Kavita Garu, Venkat Garu, and Raghu Garu, thank you. It's a great thing that we're doing here. I'm happy to field questions from you on any financial planning matter. Upendra Garu, if you want to moderate that and what's on people's mind, they can post it here. But in general, I will cover a few things on do's and don'ts, best practices, and how to stay strong in a time of chaos, confusion, and how to look to direction and confidence during this challenging time. As Raghu Garu said, I don't know if it was a slip of tongue, but he said Karuna as opposed to Corona, and may his words come true. Let the Corona become Karuna. So with that, I'll let it go back to Upendra Garu to introduce the next speaker.
Yeah, thank you, Sekar Garu. CPA Garu, Venkat Garu, please. I say also known as Soban Babu Garu.
Good morning to you all, Andy. So this is Venkat Manchupagara. I can't, frankly speaking, I'm not a good speaker. I'm very difficult for me to address the public. I can talk one by one, but here when Raghu Garu called and asked me to participate, I said, no, I'm not a person to do all these things. Then he said, no, Venkat Garu, this is the time to come and you have to speak. And some of our clients have, devotees have some questions regarding the current issues of the taxation. Then immediately I called Upendra Garu, sir, please, I don't want to participate. He said, no, Venkat Garu, you have to come. So I'm here for that. It's a great honor for me to be with all of you. It's a privilege for me. Thank you, Upendra Garu, and everybody. And let me see how best I can advise to the taxation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Venkat Garu, for your modesty. I think we're going to start with the ground rules. Achyut is the tech administrator. He has muted most of us. I think only people who are panelists are going to be speaking. And if you have any questions, there is a chat where you can send the your questions through the chat room. And also, initially we have few questions. We're going to prepare questions and we're going to ask them. And then what we'll do is we'll open it up for everybody to ask questions. And let's keep this not just for today, but I think if you have any questions ongoing, you please reach out to Raggaru or reach out to any of the panelists. And so that way we can be providing you that support. I think that is very, very much needed in this time of difficulties. So what we will do is that, are there any questions from the panelists? No, right? I mean, it should be okay. So first question I'm going to start with is, Kavitaji, given the current situation, what are the general updates on the USCIS?
Yeah, thank you, Pendra Garu. Before I even start with that, I just want to give a general disclaimer that whatever is said here is for general informational purposes only, because your situation may be different, and please do not constitute this as a legal advice. Please, talk to a professional or an attorney in the case of immigration question to clarify your specific case, or you can send an email to me as well. So this session is for informational purposes only. So just wanted to say that, and then start with Pendra Garu's question about the current updates with USCIS. So USCIS currently has given time for responses to, given the situation, to the RFE, the request for further evidence, for notice of intent to deny and notice of intent to revoke. And these kind of petitions have 60 days time from the deadline, whatever is given in the RFE, the notice. So the letter should be dated between March 1st and July 1st. They had before until May 1st. Now they've extended recently to July 1st. So your letter, if you had received any letter of RFE or notice of intent to revoke or notice of intent to deny within March 1st to July 1st, you have 60 days time from the deadline to respond. So this is giving us some time to at least plan accordingly, given the travel suspension as well. And you can strategize your response based on the strength of your case as well. And all the USCIS offices are closed to public until June 3rd now. And all the interviews and biometrics were cancelled starting March 18th. So anything will be rescheduled once the citizenship appointment or 485 appointment. Any appointments will be rescheduled. Even biometrics has been cancelled. So USCIS for EAD renewals or EAD extensions, they have said that they are going to use the previous biometrics submitted because they cannot do it anymore. So, but that's a good news because the processing will at least continue. Having said that, but you can generally expect some processing delays as well. And the premium processing has been suspended as well starting March 20th. So for all the petitions, including all the non-immigrant petitions for H, L, R, P, any of these non-immigrant petitions, and also most importantly, the I-140 petition, the premium processing has been suspended as well.
Thank you, Kavitaji. Next question to Venkat Garu. Please provide us some update on CARES, which is Coronavirus Aid, Relief and Economic Security Act. Can you explain about the PPP, which is a payroll protection program, and eligibility? What kind of businesses can apply for PPP and businesses who cannot?
Any small businesses who are affected by coronavirus and go for this one program. As name suggests, is a paycheck protection, because all the employers, because of the coronavirus, they removed, maybe they fired, I can't say fired, so they shut down the business and they minimize the employees. Now this protection plan providing all the employers, especially their monthly average payroll 2.5 times more. That amount is forgiven subject to a few conditions. This amount mainly they have to utilize for payroll, rent, mortgage interest, and utilities. They are not supposed to deviate these funds to some other purposes. It's very severe action comes afterwards. 75% of the cost should go to the payroll, and they have to rehire. They have to maintain all the employees for 8 consecutive weeks. Basing on that one, the loan is forgiven. If they're not doing that one, again, they have to pay the loan within 2 years, and the rate of interest is 1%. So it's a forgiven loan subject to condition. Most of the cost should go to the payroll purpose only. That is more than 75%. How IRS will comes to know? Because every quarter, employers has to file 941, and states, they have to file the tax returns. They will come to know, okay, for example, 2019, they're taking December 940 and 941s. And again, the payroll they're taking the consideration till February 15th, 2020. Basing on that, they will see whether the loan is forgiven or not forgiven. So this will reduce in the full headcount. They see all the headcounts, how many employees are there. If there is any difference in headcounts, the forgiven loan, they will calculate how much loan left over there. They have to pay in 2 years with rate of 1%. Even though loan is forgiven, interest is not forgiven. Interest, they have to pay 1% for every month. That is, sir.
Okay, Venkatagaru, just a follow up the question. It's available for both profit and non-profit organizations.
Yes, correct? Sir. There is no differentiate here. There is no differentiate here. This is profit and non-profit small, mainly for the retail businesses. They are concentrating. Employees more than 500, they are not giving. Employees few less than 500, they are giving till $10 million. They are funding. But all the monies should be properly executed. It should not deviate to some other purposes. And any profit or non-profit doesn't matter. Everybody will get the loan. Subject to conditions, they have to provide all the documentations properly. They have to go through a SBA 7A loan. They'll definitely get that loan.
Also, there are some tax simplifications. IRS has come up with a recent announcement regarding this tax implications. I know Congress is debating and trying to remove this restriction, like a deductibility and all that. So probably you may want to just say it's in the works. So we don't know what's going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. The next question for Shekhar Garu. What should one do about current investments? Now the stock market went down, took a lost more than 10%, and then it's coming back. And the Federal Reserve has pumped in a lot of money, and more than almost $3 trillion stimulus packages and all that, trying to boost the economy. And from the federal government to state government and all, about 32 states have opened fully or partially because they're trying to make sure that the economy bounces back. So what should I do as an investor in the current investment environment?
Upendra Garu, thank you for your question. It's got many parts to it. But before I address that, what I want to state is that at times like this, it's very important, extremely important to protect your own confidence, which means what's happening in your head between the 2 years is more important than anything else. So there are a few things that I'd like to share. This has got nothing to do with financial planning, and I'll get to your question in about a minute. The first thing you have to do at times like this is stop watching continuously negative news, CNN. Limit it, ration news to about 30 minutes a day. No more than, you can get almost everything that happened during the day, during the week, during the month. Not much is changing. The numbers are going up. We're yet to flatten the curve. Whatever it is, In order to stay positive, you cannot go negative, right? So it's very important to keep your mind clean. The other thing is that times like this, if you think about it, if we didn't have the pandemic or the COVID, nothing really changed fundamentally. So from an investor standpoint, you need to stay the course. Nothing has changed. The COVID is here, and the stock market does not like to process anything where there is uncertainty. So the market reacts very strongly to uncertainty. It's the same thing with human beings, right? It's fear. Fear, anxiety will lead to bad or decisions that are not thoughtful. So nothing has changed. So would you look at the market value of your house every day? You don't, you live in it. So your retirement is 10, 15, 20 years away. And you really, if the market went up, what would you do? You would stay the course. So if the market went down, what happens on Black Friday? You go out and buy things, right? So this is a great time to not only stay where you are, but to perhaps have the courage to invest in the market, not take away from the market. So don't go to the sidelines. There will be a recession because of the way things are. The market was overheated even before the coronavirus. So the coronavirus just made it a black swan event. A black swan event is like a 9/11, like Brexit or any war. This is another kind of war on the whole entire world. So every economy is affected. We're all in the same boat. So my suggestion to anybody at a time like this is to really have the courage to ride it out, and that'll give you the best results over the long term. So stay the course is my answer, Upendra Garu.
Thank you very much. Next question is to myself, which is, given the situation, so many people are trying to do community service in whatever way they can. Two of the Sai Datta Peetam's pillars are charity and satsang. How do you see those pillars can be used to provide community service? This is where, most of Sai devotees, all of them are quite creative. So if you have some ideas, please share them with Raghuji and myself, or whoever you think you can share with us, and so we try to come up with programs. This is one of the ideas. So trying to do a satsang, trying to reach out to people, provide information, create an outreach. I think that is one of the things we could do. Also, one of the things I noticed since I joined Sai Datta Peetam is that we have to care. I think caring is very important, and sharing and caring. And so what happens, there are a lot of people who may be homebound. They may be ill, maybe not be COVID, but they may have flu or surgery, something else are there. If you know of that, a lot of it is privacy issues. But I think if you know of something, please do reach out. Don't wait for the Raghuji to create a Zoom meeting. Reach out to them. Just say hello. How are you doing? You may not be able to do too much, but at least that reaching out and telling them, what can I do for you? How can we help? I think that will be a very good part of the satsang that you can do. And charity, of course, there are a lot of programs that are there, like Seva International has some program, and then you have the Sikh community has programs trying to provide like groceries to homebound people and delivering them. Also, if you are going to the store, if you have a neighbor who is elderly, so what you can do is, hey, look, can I get you something? So you can always buy that and give it to them. So like that, we could. There are many opportunities, and also food banks. A lot of food banks are empty because more and more people who are displaced from their jobs and going through tough situations. So whatever help you can provide, please do that. And not putting yourself at risk. I think a lot of these things can be done online. Whatever you can do online, please do that. And also don't spread, try to stay to the facts. Anything other than facts and negative information, as it is, we are bombarded with negative information from many sources. So we should filter it out and try to stay positive and try to send that positive vibes to people, so that way we all care for each other and share our difficult times together. That's my answer to that question. And next question for Kavita ji is that in the current trend, so many people are asked to work from home. Is this allowed where the LCA, labor condition application, does not have, so the home address when filing for H-1B petition? And I think, you may want to answer that.
Yes. Thank you, Upendra Garu. Yeah, this is a very important question because other than essential workers, everybody is asked to work from home, and all of us are working from home as well. In the situation with the H-1B workers particularly, they are very concerned because they are not generally supposed to work from anywhere else other than the place mentioned in the LCA when filing the H-1B petition. So so many people are concerned about this when they are asked to work from home. So here, we have to separate the home location into two different things, like commutable distance, like if it is in the same MSA from the location what is mentioned in the LCA. If it is within the commuting distance, then it is fine, as long as it is in the same location. You don't need to even redo the LCA or file another H-1B petition. You just need to post the previous LCA in your home address for 10 business days and then put it in the company's public access file. So that is what is needed when your home is within the commuting distance of the workplace specified in the LCA. If your home is not in the distance, many people travel to work or stay Monday to Friday in a place, and then the family live in a different state. And these kind of situation, if you are not within the commuting distance, then you have to, there is a 30-day one-time short-term placement where, for 30 days, with 30 business days, which is around closer to 6 weeks, in a year, you are permitted to work in a different place. But if it is going to take longer than that, then you have to file an amendment with your home address, and then you can continue to work from home. So this is what the rules are.
Thank you, Kavita ji. Thank you, Kavita ji. Venkat Garu, if I get one type of loan, say PPP, will it restrict me from applying to another loan?
No, sir. You can apply both the loans, EDIL and this one also. There is no restriction.
Okay, EDL is the Economic Injury Disaster
Yes,
loan.
sir. Just a loan. You can apply both.
Okay, great. Sekhar Garu, should I have some basic legal documents such as wills, living wills and guardianships, etc.? At this time, there are cases where one or both parents are affected by corona, though rare. Of course, the thought of it gives chills to parents. What should be done and what are our options?
Sure. So, Upendra Garu, what you're asking is, what happens if I cannot care for my own children? Who can do that? And what DIFAS, which is the Division of Family and Youth Services, does, unfortunately, in most of the states, including New Jersey, is if a parent is considered unable to provide the services, the state will take over and provide what is called as foster care. Now, that's kind of an extreme situation if a family member does not come up. Now, the best way to protect yourself is to have a legal guardian appointed. This is not very complicated. You can even go to LegalZoom, or any attorney for just very few dollars will set up a legal document appointing guardians. Similarly, appointment of guardian simply means that if you are considered medically incompetent, who will take care of your minor children? And it could be a relative, it could be a friend, it could be somebody of your choice rather than a family in a different county in this state. Even then, if somebody shows up to the court and says that, I'm willing to take care of this person or child, they would obviously allow that. But it's a good idea to have that appointed to guardianship documents of your choice. Similarly, there is something called a durable power of attorney. In case you're incapacitated, your spouse can walk in your shoes and be allowed to make financial decisions, buy, sell, assign, take a loan, all those kind of things. Have the legal authority to act on your behalf if you're considered unable to do so. So those would be the bare minimum documents. It's always a good idea to complete a last will and testament. Again, it's not very complicated. All of those things can be done. The other thing is a living will, also called as a healthcare proxy. So these four things, a last will and testament, guardianship appointments for minor children, durable power of attorneys for financial and legal matters, and a healthcare proxy would be the basic documents one should always have. All of those documents should not be very difficult or expensive. An attorney can help you do that. So that should be something that you should consider with or without COVID. You should always have that.
Shekhar Garu, healthcare proxy is cannot be included in the living will and trust, right? It has to be a separate document because of HIPAA regulations. Yeah.
Well, living will, again, there's a little confusion. A living will is also called a revocable trust. So in this context, a living will means it's got to deal with your life, healthcare decisions. So for example, if one is admitted to the hospital and doctors consider the person to be in terminal illness stage, it's very difficult for the family to decide what to do. They always want to prolong life. And sometimes that could mean that you could be in a vegetative state for a week, for a month. But if you have a healthcare proxy, you can say, it's called DNR, do not resuscitate, which means that, if 3 independent medical professionals are of the opinion that it's impossible to, continue to live, then why prolong life? That's something that you can decide in a healthcare proxy as to whether or not you want those DNR orders. So living will and healthcare proxy are synonymous, but living will also has another meaning. It's revocable trust. So in this context, I meant healthcare proxy.
Okay, thank you very much, Shekhar Garu. Kavita ji, people say if someone on H-1B is laid off, they need to go back within 60 days. Currently, they cannot go back. What will people have to do in this situation?
Yeah, thank you, Upendra Garu, for that question. There are so many people in this situation currently where there are so much of layoffs are going on in the current situation. So what are they, in case they are laid off and if the I-94 is valid, then they have 60 days time to find for another employment or the project, whichever they lost, to find 60 days time to find another one and then file. If they find it, they can file an amendment petition, or if it's the same employer, they just lost the project, or a change of employer petition if they are changing the employer. So in case if they cannot find employment within the 60 days, then they have an option to change the status to a dependent status if that is applicable. In case if his or her spouse is in H1 or L1, so the person can change the status to H4 or L2 dependent status. And then once they get the job, they can always file another H1B. And then once it's approved, they can join the work. So this is the case for if they cannot find it. If that is also not an option. Not many people have the spouses on H1 or L1. If that is the case, currently, given the situation, they cannot even go back because of the travel suspension and the flight cancellations. In that case, I would suggest them to file for a B2 visitor visa, change of status. And then once the situation gets better, they can go back. And there's also, I wanted to say that there are no furloughs or benching allowed in the current scenario. The DOL states that they have provided no relief. This normal rules apply. And also, what they can do in case of to reduce the wages, like one thing is they can reduce the number of hours. If the hours are 35 hours or less, they can file a part-time, file an amendment of H1B to a part-time H1. And then once you file it, you can start working on a part-time H1B.
Oh, thank you, Kavita ji. What about unemployment? I know H1B is not eligible, but H4 are eligible.
Yeah. H4 EADs, people working on H4 EADs. H1, why they are not eligible is that because, usually they should be able and available is the condition with most of the states, because states' rules apply when it comes to the unemployment benefit. So most of the states have this condition of able and available. So in the H1B case, they are not available because the H1B needs sponsorship. So that is the reason the unemployment benefit will not be applicable to the H1B cases unless there is a time period where they can be rehired or something like that. But you have to look into the state rules. But for H4 EAD, yes, they are eligible because this available option is available to them, where they have the EAD where they can join without sponsorship. However, there is also another catch in it because their status on the EAD depends on the H1B. So there is a time period where their status is valid as well. So you have to look into this and then go to the state, look into the state rules and then decide on that as well.
Kavita ji, there was a question in the chat. Basically, what if I am an H1B? I am currently in India. What should I do?
That is fine. You can. It's not nobody can stop you from working from anywhere, right? So that's absolutely fine. You can work from India.
Okay, thank you, Ji. Venkat Garu, what about unemployment benefits under CARES Act? Provide an explanation on any benefits under CARES Act. You're muted. Chut, you had to unmute.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sir, can you hear?
Yes.
Yeah. One of the CARES Act provided unemployment insurance program, Upendra Garu. The law provides unemployment insurance to more people and no for longer workers who lose their jobs because of the coronavirus. Generally, most of the states are providing 26 weeks of unemployment insurance they are going to provide. Now, the federal program has given 13 more weeks. That is total 39 weeks they are going to get the unemployment benefit. Apart from that, again, federal government has given $600 more per every week till July 2020. So, for example, maximum in New Jersey state, the unemployment per week is $713. Now, if a person is getting $713 and the federal government is giving 600 more, that is, they are going to get 713 plus 600. That $600 they are going to get till July only. So these are the benefits provided by the federal government and states. That is for unemployment.
So these are only when they lose the job due to corona, is it?
Yes, 100% correct. They have to lose the job.
Not for generally, like if they lost their job in January, it is not.
No, not like that. And previously, they used to give who are paid only on the W-2. Now they are giving for all the even contract jobbers, gig workers, and for everybody. They are giving the unemployment. When you are filing your tax return,
1099.
Yeah, 1099. That's what I'm saying. When you are filing the tax return, the state government and the government will go through like employers file the WR30 for the state of, I'm giving an example, state of New Jersey. Basing on the base, how many week, I mean, for 3 months, that is a quarter, how many weeks, I mean, we are working, based on the calculation, they are going to give you the benefit. When it comes to 1099, previously there was no, they never paid any on 1099. Now they are paying for the sole proprietors and the 1099 also, basing on how much your tax, 1099 amount you paid, they're dividing that one to two, changing that one to hours, weeks, basing on that, they're paying. So that is there still.
Okay, thank you.
Sekhar Garu, next question. Given the current situation where people are losing their jobs and are relocating, is this a good time to look at your life insurance?
Okay, great question. So at times like this, it's always important for a family to properly protect themselves for any eventuality. And at a time like this, even though statistically, it's a very low incidence of death, it's 3% or less if you are positive, it's always still a good idea to adequately cover yourself for life insurance. Now, what is life insurance and what does it do? Life insurance is for the people who are living, not the people who pass away. So it's to protect your family against replacement of income, which is also called survivor income. So if there is a family and one person, both spouses are working or one spouse is working, what do you need to do in case that spouse is no more on the planet? So at times like this, it's important not to, there's many different types of life insurance beyond the scope of today's discussion, but very simply put, what I would recommend is talk to your financial advisor or your agent and find out what term insurance would cost. Term insurance is extremely cost efficient and cost effective. For example, somebody in their 40s, between 35 and 45 years of age, for literally $1 million of life insurance per year would cost them about $600. Okay, so that's about $50 a month, $1 million. You can easily apply for it at times like this. Many companies are offering an e-platform application, which means there is no medicals, there is no extensive research. You apply for it based on your application. They can approve you within a day or 3 to 4 days. It's that simple. You just go on an e-platform and apply. Many insurance companies are offering that. So I would recommend, instead of looking at cash value, which means as an investment, simply protect yourself, and it would not break the bank. It would be very cost effective to go and get a little amount of insurance, $250,000, $500,000. And if you feel, $1 million, it's still very, very cost effective, less than $1,000 a month for most people under 50. So yes, the question is, it's always important to make sure that, you protect your family adequately. Anything can happen. You could have a disagreement with a truck and the truck will usually win. Very rarely do planes go down, but if you're on a plane and, anything can happen. So in a time like the pandemic, when people think about life, life insurance is very important. See, if you have your health, you can have 1,000 goals. If you don't have your health, you only have one goal, is how to get your health back. So my answer to your question, Upendra Garu, is life insurance is vital and important part of financial planning. So talk to your advisor, figure out what you need, and at least cover yourself with term insurance, which is everybody can afford that.
Yeah, Sekhar Garu, one thing, the Penn Mutual has some, trying to work with the Siddhartha Peetam, and some large percent of the proceeds can be given to Siddhartha Peetam. So I think it's they could be one of the candidates. They're not the only candidate.
Yeah, so for compliance reasons, I want to make a disclaimer here. when an agent sells a life insurance policy, there is a concept called rebating, and you can't give back money. But I think what you're referring to, and there's a couple of agents that can do this, what they would be willing to do is at a time like this to help the community. If somebody applied for insurance, and especially term insurance, and it's $500 or $1,000, any proceeds from that, I think can be given as a charity to the Saidatta Peetam. So I just don't want to confuse the issue that so we don't really mix things up. I just want to point that out. But Upendra Garu, you're absolutely right. I was one of the people that came forward with the idea privately to Raghu Garu and you. Happy to do that. Happy to help the community. In fact, it's a good deed. So why not?
So to add it to this, I will always say that, at least a minimum everybody coming into this country, because these days, like when we see cardiac arrest in 35 years, 38 years and 40 years, and a GoFundMe page really makes our hearts ache, because it's really sad. So definitely, as Shekhar Garu said, it is better at least start with the term. Everybody should think about it, and every family should protect their family, and everybody should think about at least to start with the term is what I always tell people, because every time when we see this GoFundMe and things like that with so much of stress going on, people have to protect their families.
Venkat Garu, next question is for you. You explained PPP program, and can you explain stimulus package and economic injury disaster loans, EDILS? I think there was one of the chat questions. We'll get to that, but EDILS.
Regarding stimulative check, stimulus these checks is Upendra Garu. Before going to details, if nobody has got the stimulus check as of now, ask them to go to www.irs.gov, and left-hand side, there is a button showing Get Coronavirus Tax Relief. Click on that. It will take you to next page, and click on the check. Where is your payment status? Then it will go to next page, and click on Get My Payment button. Then fill up all the details. Then you will know where your stimulus check is standing right now. Because when you are filing a tax return, some people, they didn't put their bank account numbers and everything. So some people are getting paper checks. Some people are getting a direct deposit. So you have an option there to fill up your bank account, everything. You are going to get the check. And one more thing, before going into details, also I want to tell you, these checks are issued upon your adjusted gross income. What is adjusted gross income here is your gross income, which includes wages, dividends, alimony, capital gains, retirement distributions, and other income, minus certain payments you have made during the year, such as student loans, maybe contributions, traditional individual IRAs, or health savings account. If you are already paid, filed your 2019 tax return, that adjusted gross income, you can see line number 8B. If you have not filed your tax return 2019, go to 2018 tax return and check your line number 7 for adjusted gross income. Based on your adjusted gross income, these checks are their IRS is releasing. These are here individuals that who are filing individual single person, where their adjusted gross income is 75K or less, they are going to get the $1,200 in total. If this is phased out exactly by 99,000 more, they won't get any benefit on this. And at the same time, if it is more 75 to some other distance, I'm giving an example. If you are is 80, your registered gross income 80K, then you get only 950 because it will reduce $500. That is for the single person who is filing. For the married couple, they are getting $2,400. Again, the adjusted gross income is 150,000 or less, and it will be phased out by 198,000. You won't get anything. The check amount decreases $5 for every 100. For an example, your adjusted gross income is 160, you are eligible for $1,900 only. That means $500 reduced. Like a head of the household, they are going to the registered gross income is 112,500. It will phase out $136,500. Again, if their same thing happens, the same if the their AGI is more than that, they're eligible for $950 only. And all the dependents who are below 16 years, they are going to get $500. And one more thing, college students from 17 to 23 years, they are not, when they're supported by the parents, they are not getting any benefit out of it. Of course, they will get when they are going to get, if they are paying their own everything, they are not supposed to claim as a dependent on the parents' tax return, and they should be on their own support, all their bills and everything, then they are going to get $1,200. So that is the way that will, this one. And some of the people won't get this benefit. Disabled people who are parents are taking care, they won't get it. Seniors living with the kids, they won't get it. Immigrants without having social security number, they won't get it. Babies born in the year 2020, they won't get it. High earners who lost jobs, they won't get it. Parents split the children, they won't get it. Recently divorced, they won't get it. People who owe back child taxes, they won't get this package, this stimulative package. And one more thing, the initial batch of all the checks are they're already mailed. The IRS is, so many people are asking what basis they are distributing the checks. Basing on the adjusted gross income, they started from 10,000 and less. Likewise, they are going 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. Like that, they're going. And one more thing, the people who are on F1, they won't get this benefit. Those who are filing 1040 NR, they won't get. But surprisingly, some people are getting, because I'm getting the call from my, some filed taxes, they're getting, some students are getting. But if I were not wrong, might be after some time, IRS may ask them to get back that money, because right now they're not looking for each and everything. As per the rule, when a student on the F1 for more than 5 years, 6th year he can file 1040 form, not 1040 NR. Maybe based on that, they're getting that $1,200. So this is how that stimulative package is working right now. So this those who are not getting any stimulative package need not worry. Definitely they are going to get. This is going to till September 30th. Before that, everybody will cover in that. And one more thing, this is one time as of now. This is one time only. This money, again, it's not a income. You need not report any tax returns. You need not pay back. So this money is a federal government grant for one time as of now. And in the future, we have no idea what is going on right now. That is about this one, sir.
Thank you, Venkat Garu. The other question was economic injury disaster loan. Maybe you want to say a couple of words on that.
That is this program is established for this one for the same like this one. I mean for the PPP. PP, just like almost everything is same, sir. But this is the largest rate. This is given by the SBA only. Okay. Oh, yes. This one. What is the advantage in PPP? You need not have any collateral. They won't check your credit history. There's nothing is there. But here, when it comes to this one, they are going to check the credit history of the applicant, especially. This is maximum. They are giving you $2 million. And initially, they are giving $10,000 to start up the business. And that is pardonable. And this is 30 years of loan, period you have to pay. For the profit organizations, it is 3.75%. For non-profits, it is 2.74%. Again, till $2,200, you need not require any personal guarantee or collateral. Above than that, you should have. That is, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Venkat Garu. The next question is for, let's see, Kavita ji. People are stuck in India on green card and the 180 days is about to expire. What should one do?
This is also a very common question because people generally go there for the parents, particularly for winter, and they spend time there and they come back. This is a time when they cannot come back and their 180 days is about to expire. Normally, after 180 days, when you come back, it is like seeking admission again, but they will not deny the entry until a year because everybody knows the current situation, that it's not your fault that you couldn't travel. It is the current situation where travel suspension is there and to many countries. So in that case, you don't have to worry about it if it's 180 days. After 1 year, if you cannot come back, then it's considered that you have abandoned your green card. So if you don't come within a year, then it's better that you file for an SB1 returning resident permit in the embassy, or you can take a chance to come to the port of entry and explain the situation, because people are generally, they all know that everybody is human being and everybody will have the compassion, they understand it. So it is at the discretion of the port of entry officer who will check your documents to see whether you have intended, what is your intention, that whether you have the intention to reside here, and those kind of documents will be verified, and then it is at the discretion of the port of entry. Otherwise, as I said, like you can also go to the apply for the SB1 returning resident permit in the embassy. So this is only after a year, but if it is less than a year, you can come back, which shouldn't be a problem.
Kavitaji, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you. I forgot to tell you one thing. These checks are they're issuing based on the 2018 and 2019 tax returns, sir. So those who are not filed the 2019, the IRS is releasing the checks on 2018. If the case, if the 2019, if the wife and husband, or maybe the person's the adjusted the gross income is more, IRS has given a benefit for this one, like the extension 3 months, that is July 15, 2020. So if the income is more for 2019, ask our client, our devotee, whatever who are listening, don't file the tax return, because if you're basing on 2018, you are going to get the stimulate check, might be. So don't file the 2019 till the time ends, because IRS has given for all the payments for tax returns, and they push to 3 months benefit because of this coronavirus. So wait till that time and file the tax return. By the time, I think, hopefully you are going to get your stimulus check. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very good point. I think it'll be helpful. Yeah, Sekhar Garu, in terms of, people have lots of questions about investments, and what are the do's and don'ts, and also what do you think? It depends on individual situation, but what is the right mix of investments for individuals?
So if you're not dependent on current income, and current income means if you have your money invested and you're not depending on the income, and it's for the future, and which is most of us, we're not in a retirement zone. I would suggest that you have most of your allocations, even today, almost all of your allocation in an equity or stock market portfolio as opposed to bonds. At a time like this, the interest rates are down anyway, but I would allocate mostly to growth and stocks, and this is an excellent time if you have the courage to step into the market, because everything is down. It was the best time to do it would have been a month ago, when the markets fell down almost 35%. Out of the 35%, it's come back almost 22, 23%. So it's only 13% down now. But from a year ago, you're still in the positive. So from a long-term perspective, allocating to stocks is a good idea. Traditional investment advisors follow a model. It's called 60-40. It's like a milkshake, 60% in stocks and 40% in bonds. Now you can vary that, and the idea there, and they're right, the idea there is to make sure that you're properly diversified, because 91%, according to a Nobel Prize winning economist, Markowitz and Sharp, they said 91% of your return is dependent on asset allocation. So traditional investment advisors like myself would say, hey, diversify. But I would like to suggest that if you are investing for the long haul, I think the best place to grow your money is to be in the equities long haul. So that's a little bit of a contrarian view, but again, individual facts and circumstances and general disclaimer like we did before. It's always based on your personal situation, and checking in with your trusted advisor is a good idea.
Okay, this question is for me, but I think Raghu also can answer that. During the current situation, we want to go to the temple, Sai Baba. We want to see Sai Baba. We take the darshan. It's the only solace, and but the temple is closed. Do you know when we can go to the temples? I think.
ఈ క్వశ్చన్ మేము ఉపేంద్ర గారిని అడగాలని చెప్పి అనుకున్నా రెడీ అయ్యాము.
No, that's fine. No, it's all of us have to answer that. But I think right now the governor, Phil Murphy, has put some, actually loosened some restrictions on golf courses and parks, I think, over the weekend. And he's going to find out how the social distancing is working, and how, based on that, he's going to collect some data and then try to loosen some of the things. And I also heard some of the people are going to, some of the state offices, they're going for 3 or 4 days, 3 days work and 2 days from home, and like that. Slowly things are happening because the state business has to go on. And I hear that the state legislature is supposed to come back on May 14th for their committees. So we still have a few more days. I think if you look at the United States as a whole, there are 32 states have fully or partially open. And a lot of it is depending on the neighboring state, the situation, COVID-19 situation, not only your state, but your neighboring states, because people cross the border to do whatever and so they want to control or manage the spread of the infections. I think that's what the situation is. I think I know Baba will make it possible, and it will happen very soon. That's my answer.
చాలా మంది భక్తులు అడుగుతున్నారు, నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ ఒక బోర్డు మీటింగ్ పెట్టుకొని మీ సజెషన్ తీసుకొని 10 మందిగా ఉన్న టైం అట్లా ఇవ్వచ్చా, లేదా వాళ్ళు ముందుగా రావాలనుకుంటే టెంపుల్ కి మనకి అపాయింట్మెంట్ తీసుకొని రావాలన్నట్టు ఏమన్నా పెట్టొచ్చామా, ఏమన్నా అవకాశం ఉంటుందా, అట్లా మీతో మాట్లాడాలని చెప్పి అనుకున్నాం. బోర్డు మీటింగ్ ఒకటి పెట్టుకొని ఆలోచించి మనం పంపిద్దాం ఈమెయిల్.
నేను మానిటర్ చేస్తాం, మనం మానిటర్ చేస్తాం, సిచ్యువేషన్ విల్ మానిటర్ అండ్ దెన్ we'll advise you accordingly. Okay. Now I think those are the questions I have. Now I had to go into the chat room. Let's see what I have. I'm going to start from the top, and let's see what I have here. From the beginning, let's see. Okay. So this is for a question for Venkat Garu. I have a small corporation. I am the owner and employee. Don't run payroll. Can I apply just for EIDL without PPP? If yes, how can I do it?
Yes, sir, she can apply. Upendra Garu,
go ahead.
Is there any way, ask her to send an email to me, sir, so that okay. I will explain her and everything, and she can do that one, and I will tell you what exactly she has to do.
You want to give your email? Your
email or maybe phone number is fine. No problem, sir.
You have, if they don't have email, you want to give it to them, or?
Yeah, no problem, sir. Venkat,
okay,
sir,
all right. Yeah, you can put it. You can put it in the chat, I think. Yeah,
yes, I will put it on the chat. Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and the other question is for Kavita Garu. It's I'm in India now with a valid H1B, stamping not done yet. How my H1B will be affected in my situation? I am not working. I'm not working in India, so I think yeah.
Right. So this is also a pretty common scenario, because people, not only the H1B, some of the family members have gone for vacation or for different reasons in February, and they could not come back because though the stamping dates are set, the consulate closed, and there's no option to go for stamping as well. So until the situation gets better, unfortunately, nothing can be done until the consulates reopen. And even if they reopen, you can also expect some delays in getting the appointments back. So under the situation, the only option is to wait for the appointments, the consulate to reschedule our appointments or open for appointments, after which you can apply and then come back. So that is the only option at this given point of time.
Okay, Kavita ji, next question
and you have
is
to plan mentally as well. So that's another thing. You have to prepare yourself for these kind of things. So that is one thing I would say. And also somebody has, I think, some Sham. One person called Sham has asked.
Yeah, private. They want it private. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No, I think I want to ask a general question. Suppose, how does this current situation affect visitors' visa? Let's say my mother or father, they come here to United States, and their visitor visa is valid through, let's say, middle of June. How do we want to? What should we do, and how can we deal with that?
So this is a very frequently asked question as well. Where I think one of the things we had is as well, normally the visitor visa is granted for a year with 6 months increment. If when parents come here, they can stay here for 6 months. After the 6 months, they have to file for another extension, and normally it's granted for it's not normally that you can apply, and if everything every documentation are in place, and if the documentation is valid, then you can go up to a year. So in this case, because you cannot travel back, I would suggest that when the parents are here, they are very worried about their status, particularly when the I-94 is expiring. So please go for it. Please file for another extension for the parents. And there is a thing, you can do it online. But if you do by mail, like if you are doing for both the parents, if you do by mail, you have to only pay one filing fee and the biometrics, of course. But if you do it online, you have to pay 2 filing fees for each of the parent. So accordingly, you can choose it. You have to file for another extension and explain that the COVID situation in the documentation, and then file for it. And please do not wait for the extension to be approved, because it can take more than 6 months for you to get the approval or the decision. So once the situation gets better, and once your parents can travel back, you plan for to send them back as well. So because many people do the mistake of waiting more than 6 months, you will be asking only for 6 months in the extension, but people tend to wait for the for the decision to come. So do not do that. Please go within the requested time. So you can ask for 6 months extension. People will understand, the USCIS will understand the current situation. And even if you had previously extended already for a year, even then, since the flights are cancelled, please go for another extension as well.
Thank you, Kavita ji. Next,
one thing I want to forget to tell you only for our listeners.
I have a question. I have a question for you. You can answer that at that time. This is from Seema Jagtiani, and she says that if our employees file for unemployment, will that affect our PPP and EDL? So now you can answer both questions.
No, it won't. It won't affect.
Yeah. It won't affect. Okay, you go ahead. Tell me what you want to say.
Yeah, that is Corona. That in the CARES Act, one more provision is there: rent and mortgage payment relief, sir. This is backed by the federally backed mortgage forbearance. That is, if anybody loses their job because of the coronavirus, they can request the mortgage payments or rent for 180 days to this is federally backed mortgage forbearance. They can do that. They have to call the mortgage companies or maybe the banks where they're going to borrow the money or something like that. They can ask them to go for 180 days. They need not pay any interest, something like that. They will, for example, till December. Right now they are paying. They need not pay till December. From January onwards, they pay the loan amount will push back to 6 months. So they can utilize this opportunity if there are any hardship, something like that. For that, they need not prove their anything like their financial capacity condition. They have to attest. That's it. And they have to call the concerned bank where the loan, they put the loan, everything. They tell them we are unable to pay rent or mortgage. So they have to give 180 days time to pay the balance. So this also they can utilize.
Okay, so forbearance for 6 months.
Yes, forbearance for 6 months.
Any Fannie Mae, I guess federal loans. Okay, great. And the next
but
question.
The subject to condition is they have to lose the job.
They have to lose the job.
Because
what if you're a business and you are not able to pay the loan?
That's the reason their EDIL is there. This is only
EDIL,
for the...
Okay. Okay. Next question, Kavita ji. I have a green card eligible to apply for citizenship. I have applied for unemployment in the past 6 months. Would this be a problem for citizenship?
No, because unemployment is very clearly stated that it will not be coming under the public charge rule. It is an exception to the public charge. So claiming unemployment is not considered a public charge, and it will not have an effect on your citizenship. Because public charge, as USCIS explains, it is a benefit from your employment, and it is not given by, it is not a grant or something which you earn from the government. So it will not be a public charge, definitely. So there will be no problem in your citizenship.
Okay. All right. Somebody had a question that I brought up the life insurance. I apologize. I think I was talking about in general. So I'm a state officer. I have no financial interest in any of these things. If the company, let's see, next question from Venkata Garu is, if company was approved by PPP, approved for PPP, and in order for the loan to be forgiven, how long the employer need to maintain same payroll?
Minimum 8 weeks, sir.
8 weeks.
8 weeks. The headcount should be same. It should not be varied from. It should not be down.
It doesn't have to be beyond 8 weeks, correct? That's all.
Yeah, 8 weeks. Yeah, because it's 2.5 times they're giving. So then the loan will be automatically forgiven, but they have to pay 1% rate of interest.
Right.
That is mandatory.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. There are a lot of chat. Anybody can see that. And staggering. Okay. This is opening ideas. Okay. Yes. We need a plan before we let in staggering hours, scheduling people for each RP. So we can limit the people inside and mask mandatory. All these things are great ideas. The question is, if you don't want to get stopped by the police because, if the governor says he locked down. So that's the only challenge we have. Question to Kavita Garu. I am planning to apply for citizenship. Are there any restrictions on processing of application?
No. So if you are eligible to file for citizenship, and you can go ahead and do that, because USCIS is only closed to public, but they are working, but you can expect processing delays. There is no, currently, there's no pause or nothing has been suspended yet. So you can go ahead and file for citizenship. There are no restrictions if you are eligible for the citizenship.
Right. Somebody, Kavita ji, this is a question on public charges. Are these benefits government providing, like EAD, unemployment benefits, and the stimulus checks and direct deposits considered under the public charges, and how that impacts green card processing?
Yeah, as I said, like the unemployment will not be considered as a public charge, but you have to check your state rules to see if you are eligible for the unemployment benefit. As I said, the H1s are not eligible because of the available clause in the rules. So you have to check that, but the unemployment benefit, as I said before to the previous question, it will not be considered as a public charge. The stimulus package, if it comes as a tax credit, Venkat Garu can answer better. If it comes as a tax credit, then it will not be a problem with it will not be considered as a public charge as well. So it shouldn't have a problem with your green card or your citizenship package. But you have to, it's better to check with the CPA to see how it has been credited and then decide accordingly.
Venkat Garu, you have to share your email. I think Durga.
Sure, sir. I'm sharing, sir.
Okay, so that's one thing. And those are the questions I have. If anybody else has any question, how much time we have? We have about 31 minutes. Ragaru, you want just while people, if you have any questions, please send the chat and then we can go forward. Okay.
Upendra, na email pretend I send my email, sir.
Okay, it's in the chat. Yeah, please take a look at
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. So let's see who else. That's all I have. Anybody else want to? Any panelists wants to say anything more? Hello?
I think we are 1.5 hours now on the session.
Right. Sekhar garu, I mean, Raghu garu, you want to conclude chestara? It's a long program.
Present situation andariki నేను తెలుగులో అడుగుతున్నా అనుకోవద్దు కావాలంటే ఉపేంద్ర ఇంగ్లీష్లో చదువుతారు క్వశ్చన్. ప్రజెంట్ సిచ్యువేషన్ అందరికీ ఇలాగ ప్రాబ్లంగానే ఉంది. మన పీఠం మరి ముందుకు వెళ్ళాలి. వీళ్ళు ఇప్పుడు ఉన్నవాళ్ళు వాళ్ళ సిచ్యువేషన్ ఇబ్బంది లేకుండా టెంపుల్కి హెల్ప్ చేయాలంటే ఏదైనా సొల్యూషన్ ఉందా? మీరు ఇంతకుముందు స్టాక్స్ గురించి వాటి గురించి మాట్లాడారు. అలాంటివి ఏమైనా కదిలీకుండా లేకపోతే వాళ్ళకి ఇబ్బంది లేకుండా పీఠంకి హెల్ప్ చేసే అవకాశం ఏదైనా ఉంటే ఒక చిన్న సజెషన్ ఇస్తారేమో శేఖర్ గారు?
Yeah, as Sai Baba always says, you give me one, I will give you back 100. So charity should always be on people's mind. If your situation allows, and we're grateful that in most cases we're all okay. So from a long-term perspective, nothing changes. So it's always important to keep SDP in mind. It's a family, and don't forget to be charitable. And this is the best time to give back. If you give back, you get back. So I would recommend that everybody consider that, irrespective of how bad your own personal situation is. Growth always means that you are constantly helping others, right? So this is a good time to do that. So don't postpone charity.
Okay. Venkat garu, any final words, parting thoughts?
No, sir, it's really great opportunity for me to come before all of you. And I feel very proud to be here, and thanks to each and everybody. And I put already my email out there. If anybody wants any questions, please email me so that I will going to respond to them, sir. Thanks a lot for everybody.
Kavita ji,
thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. This is a very testing time for everybody, but I would say that with blessings of God, and this too shall pass. And please do not lose sleep over the situations with anything with your visa or any other concerns you have. Everything will be better. So please have that positive note, and definitely we will win this. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
Okay. All right, Raghu garu, anything else? I just want to say thank you, and I might have made some mistakes. I please apologize. I don't think my intention is to, promote any business. That's not the idea. The idea is to have some examples and also we are talking among SDP family. This is not a public session in the real sense. And I know it's going on Facebook, and it's going on live on YouTube and all that. But I think the key here is that information sharing, and there are no obligations. Everybody as a professional has given their disclaimers. I think there is nobody has said that, you come to me because of this, I'm promoting my business. Nobody has said that. These are some of the ideas, and naturally when a public discussion requires, of course, there's always subject to criticism, but it's fine. I think Sai Baba will forgive all of us.
Hello. Yeah. ముందుగా ఉపేంద్ర గారు, కవితాజీ, శేఖర్ జీ అండ్ వెంకట్ జీ అందరికి కూడా ధన్యవాదాలు. మీరు ఎంతో చక్కగా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ చాలా మందికి ఉపయోగపడుతుందని చెప్పి భావిస్తున్నాను. మీరు ఇచ్చిన సజెషన్స్ అవన్నీ కూడా. అలాగే వీలైనంత తొందరలో మనం మరలా ప్లాన్ చేసి ఇంకోసారి ఏదైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నా ఏదన్నా తప్పకుండా చేద్దాం. దాంతోపాటు మన ఉపేంద్ర గారు లాస్ట్ టైం అన్నారు హెల్ప్ డెస్క్ ఒకటి పెడదామని, అది కూడా ఆలోచిస్తాం నెక్స్ట్ మీటింగ్లో. వాళ్ళకి ఏమైనా ఎలాంటి ఇమిగ్రేషన్ సంబంధించి ఏ హెల్ప్ కావాలని కూడా ఒక ఈమెయిల్ వస్తే మనలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళే దానికి హెల్ప్ చేసేటట్టు కూడా చూద్దాం, ఆలోచిద్దాం. అలాగే మన ఆల్రెడీ చారిటీ నడుస్తుంది, పూజలు అవి నడుస్తున్నాయి. అందరికీ బాబా అనుగ్రహం ఉండాలని కోరుకుంటూ ఆశీర్వచనం చేస్తాను. పెద్దవాళ్ళు మాట్లాడటం అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి మా అచ్యుత్ పర్మిషన్ ఇస్తే ఒకసారి మీరందరూ వీడియోలు మీట్లో పెట్టారు, వీడియోలు ఓపెన్ చేస్తే మా వాళ్ళు చక్కగా ఓ ఫోటో తీసుకుంటారు. మీ అందరికి చిన్న ఆశీర్వచనం ఇస్తాను. దయచేసి అందరూ వీడియోలు ఓపెన్ చేయమని కోరుకుంటూ, మ్యూట్ కూడా తీసేస్తాడు. పెద్దవాళ్ళు మాట్లాడటం అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి మ్యూట్ కూడా తీసేస్తాడు. ఒకసారి అందరం
దీనికన్నా నన్నక్కర్లేదు. పెట్టేస్తాడు.
మాట్లాడి
ప్లీజ్ హ్యావ్ మై ఫోన్. హైరామ్ అందరికి అండి, నేను కాని ఉట్కూరు.
అందరూ ఓపెన్ చేయండి వీడియోలు. సుభద్రం వీడియోలు ఓపెన్ చేయండి ఒకసారి ప్లీజ్. వీళ్ళు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇచ్చారు, వాళ్ళ నలుగురికి మనం ఏమి ఇవ్వగలం? ఒకసారి క్లాప్స్ ఒకసారి అందరికి థ్యాంక్స్ తెలియజేద్దాం. సురేంద్ర గారికి, కవితాజీకి, శేఖర్ గారికి. అలాగే పేరెంట్స్ ఉన్నారు, మన ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఉన్నారు ఒక్కటి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. ఒక్కటి నా రిక్వెస్ట్, ఎవరు ఎంతమంది ఉన్నా ఎన్ని చూసినా డబ్బు కానీ పవర్ కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయలేదు. ఓన్లీ సహాయం చేస్తే, హెల్ప్ చేస్తే ఒక్క భగవంతుడే చేయాలి. మనకి ఇప్పుడు ఇండియాలో మా పేరెంట్స్ గుంటూరు నుంచి 20 నిమిషాల్లో ఉంటారు. మా అక్క మా చెల్లి గుంటూరులో ఉంటారు. అక్కడి నుంచి అక్కడికి వెళ్ళలేని పరిస్థితి. హైదరాబాద్లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళు కూడా ఒకచోటి వెళ్ళలేని పరిస్థితి. ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి హెల్ప్ చేసేది ఎవరు? బాబా, ఒక్క దేవు గాడ్ మనం. కాబట్టి మనకి రెగ్యులర్గా ఇప్పుడు కరోనానే కాదు, రెగ్యులర్గా కూడా మనం పేరెంట్స్ని, ఫ్యామిలీని, ఫ్రెండ్స్ని ఎంత ప్రేమిస్తామో, ఎంత మనస్ఫూర్తిగా ఉంటామో దేవుడితో కూడా అలా ఉండడానికి ప్రయత్నం చేయాలి మనం. ప్లీజ్, ఎప్పటికైనా మనం రక్షించేది దైవం. కాబట్టి దైవంతో అటాచ్మెంట్ ఎక్కువ పెట్టుకుందాం. మీకున్న సమయంలో 1 గంట తప్పకుండా స్వామికి కేటాయించండి. అది బాబాగారు అని చెప్పట్లేదు నేను, బాబాగారు అవ్వచ్చు, అమ్మవారు అవ్వచ్చు, శివుడు అవ్వచ్చు, ఏదైనా కానీ తప్పకుండా మనతో నిలబడేది అదొక్కటే. కాబట్టి దయచేసి మీరందరూ అది పాటిస్తారని, మంచిగా ఆ స్వామి సేవలో ఉండాలని, త్వరలో మనందరం డైరెక్ట్గా పీఠంలో మనందరం కలిసి ఆ స్వామిని పూజించుకుందాం. మీ అందరికీ కూడా చల్లగా ఉంటారు. మీకు మనకి బాబా దయ వల్ల ఇంత ఘోరాలు జరుగుతున్నా మన దాకా రాలేదంటే అది మీరందరూ చేసుకున్న పుణ్యం. రాకూడదు, త్వరగా తొలగిపోవాలి అని కోరుకుంటూ అందరిని మ్యూట్ తీసాను. కోరుకుంటూ మీ అందరికీ బాగుండాలని చిన్న ఆశీర్వచనం. ఓం యవైదాం బ్రహ్మణామృతాంబురే బ్రహ్మజ ఆయుక్కేత్యం ప్రజాం దదః నవో నవో భవతి దేవేభ్యో విదదాచ్యాయన్ प्रचण्डमायोः शतमानं भवति तदायुः पुरुषस्य तेन्द्रिय आयुष्येन्द्रिये प्रतिष्ठति माता अनुग्रह कटाक्ष సిద్ధిరస్తు. ముగించే ముందు చిన్న విన్నపం, హనుమాన్ చాలీసా అందరూ చేస్తున్నారని చెప్పి భావిస్తున్నాను. అలాగే రామరక్ష చాలా మంచిది, అందరు చేస్తున్నారు. పిల్లలు ఎవరైనా ఇంకా జాయిన్ అవ్వకపోతే తప్పకుండా చేయించండి, ఇంకా కంటిన్యూ అవుతుంది. ప్రతిరోజు ఈవినింగ్ 6 o'clock మన పేటలో విష్ణు సహస్రనామ పారాయణ జరుగుతుంది. సాయి దత్తపీఠం యూట్యూబ్లో అన్ని మనం డిస్ప్లే ఇస్తున్నాం. ఇప్పటిదాకా యూట్యూబ్ ఎవరు చూడని వారు ఉంటే దయచేసి సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి. యూట్యూబ్ ద్వారా మీరు విష్ణు సహస్రనామంలో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయొచ్చు. విష్ణు సహస్రనామం అయిపోతూనే 6:40కి ప్రతిరోజు కూడా హనుమాన్ చాలీసా పారాయణ జరుగుతుంది. దాంట్లో కూడా మీరు చక్కగా లైవ్లో చూడొచ్చు, పిల్లలు కూడా ఫాలో అవ్వచ్చు. అలాగే రామరక్ష మంత్రం కూడా, ఇదంతా కూడా May 15th వరకు జరుగుతుంది. May 16th నాడు ఆంజనేయ స్వామి అభిషేకం, పూజ ఇవన్నీ ఉంటాయి. దాంట్లో మీరు చూద్దాం, ఈలోపు పర్మిషన్ ఇస్తే కొంతమందికి పీఠంలోకి రావచ్చామో చూద్దాం, లేకపోతే అది కూడా జూమ్లో ఏర్పాటు చేస్తాం. దాంతోపాటు రేపు గురువారం పూర్ణిమ అయింది, బుద్ధ పూర్ణిమ మంచిది, వైశాఖ పూర్ణిమ. బుధవారం నాడు సామూహిక సత్యనారాయణ వ్రతాలు ఉన్నాయి గుళ్ళో 4 o'clockకి. జూమ్లో ఎవరైనా వ్రతం చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటే మీరు ఇంట్లో కూర్చొని మీ గోత్రనామాలతో మన ప్రీస్టులు చేస్తారు. ఆ వ్రతం చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటే పీఠాన్ని ఫోన్ చేసి మన భాస్కర్ శర్మ గారు కానీ, సంజయ్ గారు కానీ, లేకపోతే మన సతీష్ని కానీ, నన్ను కానీ కాంటాక్ట్ చేయొచ్చు, ఏ ప్రీస్ట్ అయినా. అలాగే గురువారం నాడు మనం వార్షికోత్సవం అప్పుడు సాయి పాదుక పూజ చేద్దాం అనుకున్నాం. దానికి చాలామంది పేర్లు ఇచ్చారు. లక్ష్మీమాత దగ్గర ఆ పేర్లు లిస్ట్ అన్ని కూడా ఉన్నాయి. ఇంకా ఎవరైనా సాయి పాదుక పూజలో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయాలనుకుంటే తప్పకుండా మీరు ఈ 2-3 రోజుల్లో లక్ష్మీమాతను కానీ నన్ను కానీ తప్పకుండా కాంటాక్ట్ చేస్తే మీ పేర్లు తీసుకొని మీ గోత్రనామాలతో గురువారం ఈవినింగ్ 7 o'clockకి సాయి పాదుక పూజ, పాదుకలన్నీ పెట్టి పూజ చేస్తాం. మీకు ఆ తర్వాత మరి టెంపుల్ ఓపెన్ అయిన తర్వాత మీరు వచ్చినప్పుడు మీ పాదుకలు మీకే ఇస్తాం. మీ పేరు మీద 2 పాదుకలు తీసి జిప్లాకులు పూజ చేసి పెట్టి అవి లక్ష్మీమాత దగ్గర టెంపుల్ గానే ఉంటాయి. తప్పకుండా ఈ పాదుకా పూజలో కూడా పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయమని కోరుకుంటూ అందరికి కూడా సర్వే జన సుఖినో భవంతు, సమస్త లోక సుఖినో భవంతు. థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఈ టైం స్పెండ్ చేసి వచ్చింది అందరికి కూడా సాయిరామ్. ఒకసారి మీట్లు తీసేసావు, అందరికి మీట్లు తీసేసావు. ఏమైంది నాన్న?
Sairam.
Thank you.
Sairam.
Sairam. Can I speak, Raghuji? I would like to say something about next Thursday. I created a to watch, so we can watch live YouTube. The Paduka Puja is being done on coming Thursday. Please, if you're interested in getting into my group and get a pair of after Thursday, contact me or Subhadra Garu. We both are doing this. Because we have only 90 Padukas. We brought them for anniversary celebrations from India. These Padukas, I have 90 left. So if you would like to have your name included to get the Padukas, please contact me or Subhadra Garu. Okay, thank you. Stay safe.
Sairam Andarki, Sairam all of you, and this is Rani Vutukuru. I could not join the call because we were on Gurukulam, and Raghu Garu, Gurukulam has been working continuously every week on Sundays, and we are having classes on the conference calls. It's going very well, and because of that we could not join all the teachers from Gurukulam and at this meeting. But I just want to say Sairam to all of you, and our kids are also chanting Ramanama Japam, and we hope to give you a very big count. Sairam to everyone.
Sairam.
షీట్ వేయాలట కానీ షీట్ లేదు.
మాట్లాడుతున్నారా మురళి గారు? మురళి గారు మీట్లో ఉన్నారు మీరు మురళి గారు.
Now I can hear it. చాలా బాగుందండి, వెరీ ఇన్ఫర్మేటివ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఎవ్రీవన్.
50 times after room look చూడు.
వెంకట్ గారు,
I will keep walking into that room.
ఎవ్రీవన్, ఆసమ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్, చాలా బాగా జరిగింది.
ఎవరు పుట్టారని చెప్పండి అందరికి.
మనోడు పుట్టాడు.
కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్.
ఏం పేరు పెట్టారు సార్?
పేరు ఇంకా రాలేదు, వస్తారు, ఇంకా గంటలో వస్తారు హాస్పిటల్ నుంచి వాళ్ళు.
అవునా? ఓకే ఓకే.
నేను రాత్రే డెలివరీ అయింది 7:24 కి.
ఓకే ఓకే.
వీటిలో ఉన్నారు వీళ్ళందరూ. రమేష్, ప్రతిమ,
శర్మ గారు,
మదన్ గారు, తర్వాత
శర్మ గారు, మార్కెట్ కాఫీ మీరు తాగేస్తాలాగా?
సైబర్ కాఫీ.
ఇంకన్నీ బాగున్నాయి సార్.
వీడియోలో ఓపెన్ చేయరు, వచ్చిన బాబు. మాట్లాడతారా? క్లోజ్ చేద్దామా?
క్లోజ్ చేద్దాం.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. చాలా బాగా ప్రోగ్రామ్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఆల్ రైట్.
నమస్తే
ఉపేంద్ర గారు.